Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy RotoBeast. I'm here to present you my MLB on Deck segment for Friday, September 27th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my MLB, NFL, and NBA videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at DFSCheatSheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily FanDuel and DraftKings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for our DFS needs. So make sure you can check out the site here at DFSCheatSheet.com. So we got a monster 14-game slate today. MLB regular season is winding down. We're going to stick with these videos all the way through a regular season. Cash lineups have been going strong still making a bunch of money. So yeah, no reason to stop now. Like I said, Monster Slate, got Coors Field on the slate. There's actually some really good options outside of Coors Field as well. So I think that today's going to be a pretty fun one, man. I even got a bunch of pitchers that I think that you could throw in there to kind of help you fit some bigger bats in there. So as always, we'll kind of jump into bats and then we'll kind of round it back off with pitchers. Real quick before we do get started, if you don't mind, please take that quick second, click the like button down below. Helps me out. Really, really appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, let's go. So we're just going to go to the main event. We'll talk about that a little bit, and then we'll come back to these other spots outside of it. So we got Milwaukee going into Colorado to face the Rockies. We'll start with the visitor side with Milwaukee Brewers. They get a matchup today against Antonio Senzatella. Gives up a 40% hard contact rate, 222 ISO to lefties, 167 ISO to righties. I mean, he's a little bit worse against lefties, but you can definitely look at both sides. Grisham's been playing pretty well. Yasmani Grandal is in play. Moustakas is in play. Tames is in play. Braun, Kane. I mean, I'm really looking at the top six. That's where I see the upside in this lineup. Definitely like those guys for sure. On the flip side of things, we'll look at the Rockies. They get a matchup against Zach Davies. Gives up a 35% hard contact rate, 185 ISO to lefties, 140 ISO to righties. He's hasn't been pitching bad, but we're in Coors Field, so we definitely got to target this game. Trevor Story, Daniel Murphy, Arenado, Blackman, McMahon, Ian Desmond. That's really where I feel we get the upside in this lineup. So definitely, I think that you can look at both sides of this game, but the Milwaukee sides are looking a little bit more intriguing for our DFS lineups tonight. Moving outside of Coors Field, we're going to go to Texas, and I'm going to talk about the Yankees. The Yankees get a matchup today against Joe Palumbo. Gives up a 51% hard contact rate, 500 ISO to lefties, 250 ISO to righties in Texas, where it's going to be hot. I expect the Yankees to absolutely go crazy today. And this is a really, really good spot for them. This is almost as good as a spot as Coors Field, and that's what I was trying to throw out there. I really like them a lot, today, the Yankees. We're looking at DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres, Gregorius, Stanton, Voit. You can even throw in Gardner, Urshela in the bottom of the lineup. This lineup is getting really healthy. It's a stacked lineup. We know that. Like the Yankees a lot today. They're my first option outside of Coors Field. Next, we will go to Boston and talk about the Red Sox. They get a really good matchup against Asher Wojnarowski today. Gives up a 35% hard contact rate, 304 ISO to lefties, 194 ISO to righties. You can look at it from both sides of the plate for sure. And, also another thing too is I like targeting this Baltimore team because their bullpen isn't very good. They've given up the most home runs in the majors as a pitching staff. So, Boston's looking good today. Mookie Betts, Bogarts, Devers, JD Martinez, Benintendi. You can even throw Moreland in there. He gives you some pop for sure. Outside of that, we will move on to another team that has major pop in their lineup. We are looking at Minnesota. Minnesota is the only team in the majors that has a combined team ISO over 200. These guys hit the ball very, very hard. They get a matchup today against the Royals, and Eric Skoglund gives up a 51% hard contact rate, 250 ISO to lefties, and 250 ISO to righties. Mitch Garver's in play, Polanco, Nelson Cruz, Rosario, Miguel Sano. You can even look at Kepler and Cron in the bottom of the lineup, even Scope as well. Man, they're starting to get healthy, and they have a really, really good lineup as well right now. After Minnesota, we're gonna go look at Houston. One thing I will mention about Houston, they're kind of sitting guys right now. They have their spot locked up in the playoffs, and yesterday they sat a bunch of guys. Maybe they'll play them today, but we got to kind of wait and see on that lineup. It is a late lineup. Same thing happened yesterday. Is we didn't know who was going to be in the lineup. It wasn't confirmed until after lock, so it makes it a little bit tough. But it is a good matchup, though. They get a good matchup against Patrick Sandoval, who gives up a 46% hard contact rate, 387 ISO to lefties, 115 ISO to righties. The left-handed bats are the ones that are standing out. Brantley, you can look at, if the big bats are in the lineup, then you can look at, Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, Gurriel. Those are easy plays. But if they're not in the lineup, then it makes it a little bit tougher. And that's what's making me a little bit scared about this particular spot. One guy that I do want to mention, though, that they've been playing a little bit more, and the guy, he's been playing very well for the most part. We're looking at Kyle Tucker. The guy, he's been on fire. And then we played him yesterday. He hit another home run for us. He's been coming in pretty cheap. We don't have him in the projected lineup right now. They have the regular starters projected him, but he's a guy swinging a really good bat. So if he's going to be in that lineup again, for the Houston Astros, I think that you could look at him also. Lastly, bat-wise, we're going to go out to Seattle and talk about the Oakland A's. Oakland A's, they get a good matchup today against Justice. Sheffield gives up a 33% hard contact rate, 280 ISO to lefties, 168 ISO to righties. Simeon, Liriano, Chapman, Olsen, Chris Davis, Pinder, even Canna. Profar's in play also. You can look at a bunch of these guys swinging really, really good bats. Moving on to the pitching side of things, there's some guys that we can definitely look at. We'll start at the higher end guys, and then we'll kind of work our way down. A couple guys that I'm really liking, you can look at Jose Barrios, 9,600 going against the Royals. Really good play right there, in my opinion. Then you can look at James Paxton going against Texas. Texas, they have a bunch of really good left-handed bats, not too many good right-handed bats. So I think this is a matchup that James Paxton could definitely excel in as well. One more guy I'll quickly throw out there. Walker Buehler gets a matchup against the Giants. He's 10.2. All these higher priced guys are really close to the same price tag. I definitely think that all those guys are in play. And then if we want to look at a couple guys that we can save some money with, there definitely are a couple guys I think that we can look at. First thing first, I think that we can look at Jose Urquidy for the Astros going against the Angels. The Angels are kind of just ready for the season to get over. He's a decent sized favorite, 7,000. This will allow us to get all the big bats that we mentioned. There's a lot of really good bats on this slate. And then so another guy I think that we can look at is Marcus Stroman. Going against Atlanta. It's a tough spot. I understand. 7,800. He's strictly a GPP play for me by far. Don't get me wrong. But he's been pitching pretty good. I'm just looking for a guy that could give me a decent floor on this slate. And lastly, the last guy I think, and I like this spot a lot better than Stroman. I won't throw that out there. I like Vincent Velasquez going against Miami. We've been picking on Miami all season, even though there's only a couple days left in the regular season. I'm going to continue picking on Miami. 7,600. We know the strikeout upside that Vincent Velasquez gives us. So, yeah, I think he's a guy that we can look at for GPPs as well. So that's really where I'm at, with today's On Deck segment. If you want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, make sure to check out the site, DFSCheatSheet.com, and then good luck on your guys' contest, all right? Peace out.